Advanced Metering Infrastructure Smart Meter Program. And the purpose of our meeting tonight is to give the public an opportunity to learn about the upgrade that is being proposed, as well as be able to ask questions and get some answers to those questions. My name is Troy Spade, and I am the the Municipal Services Director for the City of Fillmore. And with me tonight, I have Erica Herrera and Chris Gaddy and Scott Griffith, and they'll be joining us to give the presentation.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. My name is Erica Herrera, and I'm the Assistant City Manager with the City of Fillmore. Before we start the webinar, I just want to go ahead and provide some housekeeping rules. For those of you who are joining us virtual and you need interpretation services, we do have an interpreter via Zoom. The only thing that you will need to do is change the options on your screen. And so let me just show you real quick. You can go and on this bottom portion where it says interpretation, you'll select the language that you will be needing interpretation, which will be Spanish. Para esos que están ahora escuchándonos vía Zoom y necesitan interpretación, lo único que necesitan hacer es hacer un clic aquí a donde dice interpretación y seleccionar el idioma de español. Y entonces tenemos una persona que está interpretando en inglés. Also, we will have a Q&A option at the end of the webinar, and we just ask that you raise your hand, and your name will be called for you to ask any questions. So we'll go ahead and start, and I'll pass it on to Chris.
Great, thank you, Erica. Let me share this real quick. There we go. And you see the screen fine?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having us today. As Troy mentioned, we're going to go through and describe the advanced metering infrastructure project that the city is considering. And so we'll go ahead and get started. Again, just a little bit of reiteration. The purpose here is to inform the community about the AMI upgrade that's under consideration, and specifically to cover some of the benefits that an upgrade will bring both the city and the public. And then ultimately, we'll cover some frequently asked questions and provide an opportunity for public Q&A. So I'm Chris Gaddy, and we have Scott Griffith on the line as well. We work with the city regarding this AMI transition. And between the two of us, we've been involved in well over 500,000 installations of advanced metering technology. So we will be leaning on that expertise to talk tonight. So again, we're going to start out providing an overview of what exactly AMI or advanced metering infrastructure is, the benefits, and what you can expect if the city does choose to move forward with such an upgrade. Then we'll cover frequently asked questions and do a public Q&A. So, what is AMI? AMI stands for Advanced Metering Infrastructure, and it's an integrated system of meters, cellular networking devices, and data management that allow for real-time monitoring, control, and usage of water. So the overall goal of this is you get analytics, the city gets analytics, the users get analytics, and ultimately it reduces the cost of water operations, which allows the city to provide greater customer service at a lower cost ultimately for the community. Why is the city considering AMI today? The first and probably most important is to conserve water. It's one of our most valuable resources. And one of the most important ways to do that is to know how much water you're using. And then secondarily, and what builds on that, is a significant improvement in the overall customer experience. So how does AMI work? Well, as I mentioned, it's a combination of multiple technologies. But from a very simple perspective, a meter and a cellular network device are installed in a pit, generally at the edge of your property. I'm sure you've seen your city staff or utility staff come by and open that pit. Well, today they're reading that physically and writing down your usage. In the future, with an AMI system, the meter measures your actual water usage, and then the cellular network device sends that meter data directly to the utility, which is then immediately available to you through an online customer portal. Specifically, this information is used by billing, so it's much more efficient to get the data to billing and for them to use it. Customer service team has that, so they can answer your questions. And then ultimately, you'll be able to access it online from anywhere. How does an AMI upgrade benefit the city? Well, as is the case with many cities throughout the country, this infrastructure was put in a long time ago. And so in the case of Fillmore, aging infrastructure, many of these meters are upwards of 20, and sometimes as high as 40 years of age. And the reality is that meters degrade over time. So new meters will provide more accurate readings and customer billings. Oh, excuse me. Secondarily, today a person is having to go drive around your city and open up all of these pits, clean them off, and physically read what is how much water has been used there. In the future, with an AMI system, meter data would be automatically sent. This would save on fuel use, and it would allow the city to focus on overall customer service instead. Also, today, because that data is being read by hand and put into the system after the fact and once a month, that data is at least 30 days old. Real-time data would allow for the proactive management of water usage, and it will allow for proactive detection of leaks, which we'll get into a little bit more later. Finally, there's missing data that's needed for state water reporting and overall conservation efforts. So it's very important for the city to be able to meet state requirements, and the state is constantly strengthening the requirements for reporting on water loss and things of this nature, and overall water conservation. So with an AMI system, you can easily create those reports to get all of the data that you need to meet those requirements and enhance water conservation. How does an AMI upgrade benefit customers? First and foremost, it is far more accurate billing. As we said, meters degrade with time. So new meters, and especially the newer generation of advanced meters, are much more accurate than older meters, and they stay accurate for longer. So you will only pay for the water that you use. Secondly, you'll be able to control your bill. So you'll be able to monitor your water usage in dollar terms. Instead of having to understand how many cubic feet or how many gallons that you're using, you can start looking at it, and the portal can tell you, a customer portal can tell you that you've used $15 worth of water at this point, and you're projected to use X amount. You can be notified when your usage is trending higher than expected. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about this later. You can also customize the way that you get these notifications. For a lot of people, it's very important that they manage their water bill. And so you can set this to receive alerts by whatever means you prefer. That could be text, email, or phone. It can be automated, and the city can reach out to you proactively if there's something concerning that they need to get a hold of you on, and they can use the notification preferences that you select. And then finally, you also have the ability to identify leaks early. And what's really important here is saving you money, preventing possible property damage, and saving water. So again, one of the benefits to customers of an AMI system is that all of this data will now be available to you in an online customer portal. You will no longer have to wait for a bill to arrive in the mail or go into the office to see how much water you've used and what it's going to be. You can immediately go on and you can access this data from anywhere. You can be at work, you can be at home, you can be out of town. And you can learn about how and when you're using water so you can better control your budget, your bill, and overall water usage. And then finally, you'll be able to receive more responsive customer service and faster issue resolution because city staff will have access to this same level of detail so they can help you walk through it. So here is an example of what you might see on an AMI customer portal. So in this scenario at 1 Main Street, you have somebody who is able to go in and look at an hourly usage of their water. And they can really drill down and understand what they're spending. Again, at the top, you can see actual water use and projected water use based on where you are in that period. This can also project a bill, and like I said, as a dollar amount as opposed to a water amount. So this yellow box here, we have somebody setting up a threshold. What this means is that if you want to stay under $50 a month on your water bill or $80 or whatever threshold you're trying to stay under, what this will do is you can actually go in and you have the power and ability at any time to go in and set that you want to be notified when you're on track to exceed this threshold. This could be done in actual water volume, but most people tend to use it when it comes to dollars and cents. So again, if you want to make sure that your water bill never exceeds $80 a month, the best way to do that is to go in and set a threshold. And it'll tell you, hey, you've used $25 at this stage of the month, and therefore you are on track to exceed your threshold. We want to let you know now so that you can take any appropriate actions to adjust that. We wanted to provide some examples of what AMI in action might look like. Most common one that we see, and this is lots of people appreciate this benefit when it happens to them, is leak detection. So in this scenario, you're away on vacation, wherever you are, you're away from home, and you've got a leak in one of your appliances. In this case, we've got a washing machine, and it starts leaking. The washing machine's off, it doesn't matter, it could still be leaking. And this is beginning to pool and could, in theory, cause property damage. So usually you wouldn't know about this until you return, or if you've been gone a particularly long time, until you get a very large bill further down the line. And there's nothing that the city can do about it because they don't know that your bill is exceeding, or that your usage is exceeding what you normally typically use. So with AMI, you can set it up so that you can receive an alert on your phone that will notify you when there is any continuous or abnormal usage. At most residential properties, there's going to be periods where your water use goes down to zero. So the system, without doing anything special, can pretty easily tell you, hey, something's going on. Maybe you should have a friend or a neighbor come over and check it out. And if needed, they can turn off the water and do a quick cleanup and make sure that there's no property damage. Another common example of AMI in action is billing. So a lot of times people will call in today and because their bill is high and they want to understand why, hey, it's not possible that I use this much water. Well, today when a billing customer service just gets essentially one read of how much you used for the past 30 days, once a month, there isn't a whole lot that they can tell you about that simply because they don't have the data available to help you through this. Well, with an AMI system, you can call into billing support and they can actually help you get on the portal. If you're not registered already, they can help you register. They can register for you. But ultimately, or they can just walk you through it based on what they see. They can take you through your hourly usage and help you diagnose that problem. So in many cases, we see that people didn't realize that their drip irrigation or something like that is running twice I don't know about you, but my irrigation system is very hard to figure out. So I couldn't really tell you if it was scheduled once or twice. And we do see people that run it twice and they didn't mean to. Well, that adds up to a lot of water over time. So this allows you to, and you and billing services, customer service, to help you identify problems and control your water usage from the get-go. So, what should you expect? There's a lot to this project in any installation of AMI, but basically before installation, you'll be notified in multiple different avenues. The one closest to installation that's going to happen is that door hangers are going to be posted by crews on your property 1 to 2 days before installation. Businesses, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to contact you to probably schedule an installation window. Installations are going to occur at normal business hours, usually 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so for businesses, obviously that will have to be scheduled outside of those normal windows so that it doesn't interrupt your regular operations. During installation, no action is required from you as part of this. Any installation, the city will take on any work required and you won't have to do anything. Again, I mentioned installations will occur 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. The teams that do this will be in clearly marked uniforms and vehicles, and they will knock on doors before they start doing any work. And what they're going to do is they're going to knock on the door and they're going to let you know if you're available that, hey, your water service may be interrupted for up to 20 minutes. And if there's any problems, maybe there's a medical emergency or something like that, it can be rescheduled. That's why they knock on the door, to make sure. In many cases, people don't even have to be there, or people do not have to be at the residence for it to happen. And in many cases, they can move through and, the problem will have been solved. They will replace the meter and put in the new cellular device, etc., turn the water back on, and you will have a final door hanger posted on your property once that's complete. I should also mention that there will be a multilingual call center available to answer any questions or address any concerns that you may have at that time. So moving straight into the frequently asked questions. These are very common to all advanced metering infrastructure projects. So we wanted to cover those now. And the first one is, how is data about my water usage sent to the city? So the upgraded meters essentially communicate with the city staff by using wireless radio frequencies. This is basically a text message. So it's a small, device that is coming from, again, the pit, usually at the edge of your property. It's going to send a simple piece of information, which is just water usage at that time, which will go through the Verizon, AT&T, the telecom infrastructure into the cloud-based portal where the utility will immediately have it. All of these communication systems have to meet safety standards and codes provided by the FCC. The next most common question we get is my information secure? Yes, your information will be secure because no personally identifying information is ever captured or transmitted by a meter or communication device. It's not necessary because that device is simply communicating the amount of water that's been used in the last period, and all of that other information resides in the already secure city billing and information systems, and it's simply matched up once it's in that secure location. So your water usage data is transmitted to secure servers with multiple levels of encryption, and the city's system access is encrypted and password protected as well. We also hear a lot of questions regarding whether AMI is safe. The answer is yes. Meter installation and use are both safe for you and the environment. Again, like I mentioned earlier, your water usage data is transmitted like a text message. So it sends at a frequency that is biologically safe, and it follows all radio frequency guidelines set by the FCC. What to do if you have questions about installation. The city has provided a general contact information at 805-524-1500, extension 200, that you can call with any questions you might have leading up to or during or after installation. If you forget that number, it will be posted on the work vehicles. It will be posted on the door hangers that are put at the property, both leading up to and after installation of the new meter and cellular device. In addition, you'll be able to go out, and the installation crews are approachable, and so any questions can be addressed at that time. What do you need to do during installation? Nothing. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, installation can be completed while you're away. Most of the time, this happens while people are away at work or school or something like that. So if you or another tenant requires uninterrupted water service for medical purposes or any other reason, then you simply need to contact the city in advance to prepare alternate accommodations. So again, there will be, if the city decides to pursue this, there will be all kinds of communications released prior to that, including that door hanger 1 to 2 days before, that will give you those opportunities to determine whether alternate accommodations do need to be made and reach out to the appropriate party. Next, what do you need to do after installation? Again, you don't have to do anything after the installation is complete. The system will begin automatically reading and transmitting your water usage data. The city staff will continue to own and maintain the meter and any related equipment just as they do today. So nothing truly changes from your side when it comes to the installation or the ownership of the meter or anything like that. You don't have to worry about anything. You just are able to get your data immediately, and the city will be able to use it as well to help you with improved customer service. The last but most common question, or one of the last and most common questions we get, is how you can check your water meter usage. So as we mentioned before, the city will provide guidance on how to create your unique login for a customer portal. Again, city staff will be able to create your login for you and provide that to you. They will be able to send it over to you so that you can set it up yourself. There will be numerous options, but we strongly recommend that if we get to that point, that when the customer portal is available, we would want you to create an account so that you can track your daily usage, see patterns in your usage, set and receive alerts, thresholds like we talked about earlier, and a whole lot more. Finally, will your bill increase? So there is no charge to upgrade your meter. This is all something that the city is undertaking as part of standard, and ongoing infrastructure renewal efforts. Meters do degrade with age, so the amount of water reported from your old meter may vary some from what you actually what you actually use, and therefore there might be some variability there. With a newer, more accurate meter, you're only going to pay for the water that you use. Again, these meters are far more accurate and maintain their accuracy for a lot longer than the older generation of equipment, which is another reason that the city is embarking upon this infrastructure renewal effort. Okay, Erica, I think we're ready for public Q&A.
Great. If you have a question, just a reminder, use the icon, the right hand icon in Zoom. Okay, I'm seeing no questions. Great. Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for attending this public forum. We hope that you found this information helpful. And if you have any other questions, you can either reach out to Troy Spade or to myself, and we'll be happy to answer those questions. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
Thank you.